Yo. Welcome into the WNBA ChrisBeCappinn Show. We have two games on the board for today. We'll jump into a quick recap of what we saw yesterday and go through what jaXon likes as well. So let's just jump into the two games. There's only two for today, and then there are four for tomorrow, I think. So, WNBA starting to heat up. We're starting to get a little bit of data as well, which I'll use Moneyballer today to show you guys how I kind of handicap some of the WNBA games using some of the resources that we talk about. So no further ado, let's jump into it. Yesterday, 0-1 day for myself. I've now lost 3 straight bets in a row. This number on the right-hand side is 8-7, which is my season record. I was 8-4, and then I lost 2 bets in a row as well. So a little bit of a reverse heater for myself. I took Indy and Washington yesterday. I talked about it in the video. I think number was 83. Ended up going over by a point on a last-second layup. Sonia Citron, for people who are watching that, got a last-second layup, and this would look like it was easy money in the first quarter. Halfway through the first quarter, the Mystics had 2 points. It was like 10-2 with 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Only 12 points being scored, and they still got the 84 because no defense was really played. But of course, the game slows down in the third quarter, and the full game goes under. So just a bad beat, but I don't know. If I could play it again, I probably would play it again. So still up about a half unit on the season. As the season goes on, I will start to make bigger plays. The units will start to go up, and we'll start making more money for sure in the W. But the W is highly volatile, man. It's highly volatile with these teams. So hopefully you guys found the chance and a way to make some money yesterday. Good morning, Jason. Prolific says, we here supporting. Hit the like button, people. Appreciate you, Prolific. Justin says, top of the morning again. Just left the NBA show. Shout out to my guy Justin, always tapping in. Let's jump into the W. Let's jump into the looks for jaXon. So yesterday, I don't even think I wrote down a play for jaXon yesterday. As far as today though, the prompt is I'm looking for overs now too. I'm looking for unders now because we see a lot of these teams really struggle. jaXon likes Paige Beckers over. So the prompt is, what is the best 2-player props in the WNBA for today? 1 over, 1 under. jaXon likes Paige Beckers over her 6.5 assists. It says that she's been a standout playmaker for the Wings, averaging 6.4 assists per game. She's recorded 7 assists in 3 of her last 4 games. The Chicago Sky ranked last in defensive rating at 113, allowing the second most assists per game at 23.5. The inability to defend the perimeter and transition plays make this a favorable matchup for Paige Beckers. She's coming off a strong game where she tails 7 assists against the Connecticut Sun. Her ability to exploit weak defenses like Chicago's makes this line appealing. So projection, with her heavy minutes and the Sky's defensive struggles, Beckers is well positioned to exceed this line. jaXon also likes Angel Reese under her 10.5 points. Says that she struggled offensively this season, averaging just 10 points per game while shooting 31% from the field. She has failed to hit this line in 2 of her last 3 games. The Wings have a strong interior defense, and Reese's inefficiency at the rim, 33% shooting within 5 feet, make it unlikely she will have a breakout scoring performance. Reese's offensive struggles are compounded by the Sky's overall poor offensive system, which has led to limited high-quality scoring opportunities for her. Given her inefficiency and the Wings' defensive capabilities, Reese is likely to stay under the 10.5 points. So under for Angel Reese, under 10.5 points. Paige Beckers over 6.5 assists. Honestly, I don't think I disagree with either one of those. I think they both could be winners for today. So let's jump into it for the 2 games that we have on the board. First one is this Valkyries and Liberty game, and I kind of want to show you guys how Moneyballer can be used to handicap these games as well. So I'm gonna actually stop sharing this and go over the Moneyballer real quick. So this is Moneyballer. I talk about this all the time on the show. I don't use it on the show all the time, but this is the game for today, right? So we just hit the refresh button. So yeah, we got Valkyries, Liberty, right? You can see there are some baller systems on the over. This over system within 7 days, total has increased, which, let's see, this total is, what is the total? This total is 163.5. And I think the last game closed at 162, and it landed right on 162. So if we played the under, like I talked about in the last game, that would have been a winner. So we come down. One thing that did stand out to me is that the Liberty Um, do have a game tomorrow. So you can see that here, right? This is today's game versus the Valkyries. They do play tomorrow. They have to travel to DC to play against the Mystics tomorrow. So that's the biggest difference from, last game where both teams were rested. Both teams had a day of rest. The Valkyries play again against the Minnesota Lynx in Minnesota in 2 days. So we look at the historical matchup. This is game one right here. You can see that the Liberty were able to smoke the Golden State Valkyries in this game. Beat them by 28 points. They were laying, 17 and a half. You can see that right here. And offensive rating was 116. Defensive rating was 82. So the Valkyries really struggled to score the basketball, and they couldn't stop the New York Liberty's offense. And I mean, that's honestly how I kind of see it happening again. Now, 18 is a big number to lay. Maybe you just play first half. If we go back and look at it, this game was over with in the first half. And I kind of feel like we see that again, especially when we think about the Liberty having a game tomorrow against the Washington Mystics tomorrow. I kind of think that they can, take care of, and it's hard to play the same thing twice, right? It's hard to be the same team the way that you did, but this Valkyrie team is going to be limited offensively, in my opinion. The first half number is -9.5, -10 on most books. The Liberty were winning the game 27-10 at the end of the first quarter. So they were plus 17 in the first quarter. They also won the second quarter plus 2. So they had a 19-point lead in the first half. I kind of think we could see that again. If we continue to come down, a couple of reasons why. You can see that the Valkyries are the second worst offensive team in the WNBA. They are 8th in defensive rating, which actually dropped because their defense has been really good until they ran up against a really good offense like the New York Liberty. 4th in pace. So, game could go over. I do agree with the total going up. I think the Valkyries should be able to score a little bit more. We'll talk about the injury report in just a second. But look at the Liberty. Number 1 offensive rated team, number 1 defensive rated team. Probably not going to be playing as much defense in this game just because it is the second, kind of a back-to-back series. And they just, already proved that they could smoke this team. What you don't like, if you like the over, is that the Valkyries can really struggle to score the basketball. Look at their three-point percentage. 15% from the corner three, which is, of course, last in the WNBA. Above the break, they're not too much better. 29%, which is also bottom 4. And, they could struggle to score the basketball. So Liberty, first half, ATS 2-0 straight up and against the numbers so far. They're just a well-oiled machine, man, this New York Liberty team. That's the way that I would probably be looking, would be towards the Liberty in the first half of this game. Now, we can't skip over the injury report. That's the reason why I haven't bet this yet. Tiffany Hayes did not play in the last game. She could return in this game. With that nose injury. And Monique Billings also missed that last game as well. She's on the injury report still, listed as questionable for the foot injury. So, I mean, that's two big, key players. Also, Xander Schilly hasn't made her debut yet, even though this will be the 5th game for the Valkyries, I want to say. She hasn't played in any of the games so far. So she is also on the injury report, upgraded to questionable as well. This will be her first game of the season. And she could definitely bring in some offense. Not that great of a defensive player, but she can shoot the ball and spread the floor, which the Valkyries need that. So to me, especially if Tiffany Hayes play, I think it's more of an over game. Also, Nair Sabali didn't play in the last game. She's been upgraded to questionable. So I think over or Liberty in the first half would be my top plays in this game if I'm playing this one. I have not played it yet. Like I said, I do kind of want to wait on the injury report. So I'll stop sharing, go through a couple comments, and then we'll get over to the next game. Let's see. Malik says Paige should have no issues doing whatever she wants tonight. That's a fact. I talked about Paige in that last game as well. Didn't end up playing on Paige, but she was at Connecticut, which is where she's, went to high school from. LJ says he likes Liberty in the first half as well. Jason says Angel points, not 10.5. What's the line for Angel points? Let's see real quick. Player points. You're right. They're 12.5. That's even higher. 12.5 under -125. I like that, honestly. Dallas defense not that great though. We'll talk about it. We'll talk a little bit more about it, but appreciate you for shouting that out, Jason. Me says I like the under 12.5 for Reese as well. -105 on Bet365. So I see it is -105. Yep, -105 on Bet365. I like that. G421 says, yo, what up, Chris? Been MIA. Data was down, but been cashing on the props. Caught OKC first half. Team total 57.5. Thunder Buddies for life. Nice. All right, cool. All right, let's move over to the next game. First half Liberty minus 9.5, or the over for the full game. I think the over could hit in this game. I like the total going back up, especially if those players play for the Valkyries. That'll be more offense in my opinion. So next one is the Wings in the Sky. This line is at 2 right now, kind of moving all over the place. 2.5s are out there as well, down to 1.5 on circa. It opened, I think, at 3. Yeah, 3.5. So money's coming in on Chicago in this spot. The total is moving north. It opened 169 is what I saw. 169.5 down to 169, 169.5 again. And then it's up to 170 on circa. Superbook got it a 170.5 as well. So total looks like it is going up a little bit. And again, we just go right back to Moneyballer really quickly, because this was a quick handicap. I actually looked at this yesterday during the day from my phone. And this is the game that I played. So we go down here, we change the game to Sky Wings. So for the Wings, a couple things stand out. So it says it's a travel fatigue spot, at least 4 straight game on the road. I think this is the last game of the road trip for them. Yeah, so they'll be back home to play against Chicago. So this is the first of a little back-to-back series. These teams will play again on Saturday, but it'll be in Dallas. So you got some baller systems on the Sky here. On the Wings here. So fade bad teams returning home off a two-game road trip after losing their last game. Back teams off a good shooting performance where they shot 55% or more, which they did. The Wings absolutely smoked Connecticut. A big part of that was Arike Gumbawale. She knocked down a lot of her shots. And then play over on teams that had a high assist to turnover ratio for multiple games. So a little bit of an over system as well. Fade a favorite system that backs Chicago. Fade a favorite of 3.5 points or less off a win. So if you like the Sky, that's something to look at. But if we go back and just look at the last couple games for the Sky, this team hasn't won a game yet, right? These are the games right here that matter. The games for this season. These games here are from last season. So started the season in Indiana and got smoked in that game, 93 to 80 to 58. Then they went to then they actually host the New York Liberty, got smoked in that game, lost that game by 25. So lost by 35, lost by 25. Then they played the Sparks. This was the game I actually gave them a little bit of, I thought that they, could bounce back in this game. They were 4.5 point dogs, right? You can see it right here. They ended up losing the game by 13. And then, of course, they played Phoenix. They came out, punched Phoenix in the mouth early. I was on the wrong side of that and still ended up losing the game by 5. But they did get a cover in this spot. And the game went over by 23.5 points. So, in my opinion, the Chicago Sky offense is finally starting to get a little bit better. The defense is not getting better at all. Look at this. In game number 1, scored 58 points against Indiana. Game 2, only 74. But now we get to 78 against the Sparks. We get to 89 against the Phoenix Mercury. So I'm thinking that they can score against Dallas as well. Dallas is a team that also has been playing over. You can see 1, 2, 3 straight overs right here for the Chicago Sky. And the Dallas Wings just scored 32 points over there. They went 32 points over in this game against the Connecticut Sun as well. 169 is a pretty high total, but I'm cool with it. So if we come down here, we look at some of the efficiency numbers. This is what started to stand out to me, right? The Sky's offense, worst offense in the WNBA, but look at the Wings defense. Third worst defense in the WNBA, 107.7 defensive rating. Sky defense, worst in the WNBA as well. And look at the pace. Sky gonna play fast, right? We just talked about them going over against the Phoenix Mercury the other day. 3rd in pace, none of it back home. I do think the Wings will play fast with them, even though they're 8th in pace on the full season. And I think we see this game go up and over the total, man. I'm not one to play under in Dallas Wings game at all, especially if we can get Arike Gumbawale to hit some shots. If she's hitting, then this game definitely goes over. And Arike had a big game in the last game. So that was how I kind of handicapped this one. Just played the over. Don't really like laying points with the Wings. I talked about that in the last game. But they absolutely smoke Connecticut. Are they better than the Chicago Sky? Yes, I think that they are. Until Chicago shows me, until they prove that they can, win a game and have an identity, in my opinion, this team doesn't have an identity right now. So yeah, I guess I kind of lean towards the Wings, but I can't lay points with the Wings. I talked about that, a couple games ago. And if we just go back real quick, let's see, what did I put in my notes? Real quick, Dallas, Connecticut. So yeah, Dallas was a favorite 10 times last season. They finished 3-7 straight up, 1-9 against the number. As a road favorite, they were 0-4 against the spread and straight up in those games. So I can't get there with the Wings, even though they blew Connecticut out. Not a spot that I want to lay points with the Wings on the road. Maybe a Wings, money line play. I do think, like I said, they're a better team, but a lot of that is contingent upon, what Angel Reese. What Enrique Gumbawale is going to be able to do. Because she is the very inconsistent factor for the Dallas Wings. If we go over and look at the player props, specifically the ones that jaXon was talking about, real quick, and then I'll go through the comments and we'll get up out of here. So we look at it was Paige. All right, we go look at Paige. Her assist prop. I like her assist prop as well. Over 6.5. You can see, this was the game that she got benched. Only played 28 minutes, but in the rest of these games, she's playing, very close to 30 minutes, if not 30 minutes in all of them. The Minnesota Lynx, probably the second, third best defensive team in the WNBA, if not number one. And we see here, that was her first game in the W. She only had 2 assists, but since then, Seattle, 8 assists. This is a really good defensive team. At Minnesota, went on the road, got 10 assists against Minnesota. And then this was a game she got benched against Atlanta, but bounced back strong against Connecticut and had 7 assists. So I like Paige Becker to get 6.5 assists if I'm playing this as well. You can see that I just told you guys, Chicago's the worst defensive team, and they give up the second most assists. You can see that number right here on Outlier. Against guards, also give up a ton of assists as well. And this, of course, is Outlier, if you guys are interested in checking out that. If I like a player prop, I do think Paige Beckers is probably it today on her assists. Could not talk anybody off Paige over her assists. Let's see what you guys are thinking. G421 says, could Valkyrie cover? Liberty may be taking a back seat. Potentially. I'm just not betting against the Liberty until I see it. This was not the Liberty team from last season that was just, kind of just going through the motions. I haven't seen the Liberty go through the motions at all. They actually been smoking everybody. T says, don't go under on Angel. Her and Alyssa Smith is a rivalry. She's going to play hard tonight. Yeah, I can see that. Maybe over her boards, though. Don't mean she's going to score just because she's going to play hard. I think Angel Reese plays hard all the time. GFX says, what's good, Chris? Easy day in the W yesterday. Let's keep rolling. Malik says, can't trust the Sky offense. Me either, Malik. Can't trust the Sky offense. I agree. However, when I see them score in Phoenix, against Phoenix, I know that they can get buckets against the Dallas Wings, especially at the crib. This kind of, with Tyler Morris, you already, 0-4, 0-5 on the season? You got to play a little bit better. And I think that they continue to play fast. It's the Wings defense. Like, it's not a defense that I trust. So I trust the Sky to score against the Wings defense in a desperation spot. Yeah. User says, shout out to Cal for the Terrence Shannon pick. Yeah, Shannon went over his points prop super low last night. Craig says, right on, fam. Caught Fever Mystics under 85.5 last night. I'm glad you played that. G421 says, Reese points plus rebounds on the Wings money line. Can't trust the Sky. Agree with the over, though. Malik says, not mad at that overplay. I might just take Dallas team total over. They should be able to score, but it's going to be a contingent upon Enrique Gumbawale, man. Enrique is going to be the determining factor. So we jump into a quick recap. Again, like I said, New York Liberty, first half minus the 9.5 if I'm playing that game. But you do kind of want to wait on the injury report. Either way, I do feel like the game goes over, though. So I'll add that to the short list as well. New York Golden State, I think you can get a 163 and a half, 163. Shop around for the better of the numbers. But Dallas and Chicago, official for me, I will play over 169.5. Like I said, I think the game's going to be played with pace. I think both teams can score on the other team. And, I just think it's going to be point scored. So that's the way I chose to play it. Access to all my plays. Use the link in the description. As always, also, remember, the plays in green are official. The plays in red are not. So best of luck on your action for today. Check the resources out. Definitely Moneyball. I just showed you guys how to use that. Remember, jaXon likes Angel Reese under her points at 12.5, which I don't think is a bad look either. And Yeah, check out all the other resources as well, man. There's a link in the description to sign up for sports books if you guys are interested and need any new ones. Use the referral link, and that's a great way to show some appreciation to the show. That'll be it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. 4 games in the W, man. Hit the like button on the way out if you found the show helpful. Run them likes up, man. Drop the show link in the group chat as well. And enjoy your Thursday. I'll catch you guys in the next one.